Hey guys, welcome to day 21 of Unlocked in 30. And today we're going to talk about the system. Everyone's that's been successful at anything they've ever done has followed some kind of system, a process that works. For example, tonight, the baseball players playing the game at the World Series, they have a system that they've followed over the season to get them where they're at. But when we're talking about the four categories of the nutrition, the performance, rehab, and your medical side, what kind of systems does everyone follow and what's the best route? So, I'm going to just tell you the system that I use, and it's worked kind of well across the whole board. And that's the three pillars of cleanse, balance, and build. And when I look at like from a nutritional standpoint, really trying to detox the body, get rid of all the junk. And I was just talking about this today with a couple of clients because they're just frustrated with all the medications that they're on, and the doctor keeps prescribing them, nothing's working. And so some people have to take more and more of a dosage. But after a while, if you don't detox your body and get rid of a lot of the chemicals and pesticides, stuff that's added up over time, you're not absorbing the good nutrients that you get put in your mouth as far as the food goes and or the medications you're taking. So they're limited on the actual results that they're getting there. So cleanse the body, get rid of a lot of the junk in your system, balance it out, where we talked about this before last week on the pH or hormone level, because the more acidic you are, just in general, the body tends to tank and not be as effective at the organs and glands working. And then build your body up, the proteins and vitamins. That's what gives us the structure that more or less maintains what we've worked on and went to work. Basically, like for example, your muscle structure, the proteins, the amino acids that help build the body up, the vitamins, the minerals, the trace minerals, and when we're talking about the micronutrients and the macronutrients, what get the body up and going. So performance-wise, what I always look at it from the cleanse, balance, build philosophy, when I'm looking at that aspect of it, is when I'm cleansing the body, what I'm thinking about is, what's my mobility like? Am I opening the joints up? Done a good flexibility program. For me, it's yoga and or just general stretches on the side. Doing the unlocked philosophy, where we go in there and open up the different joints. Am I balancing out my body? And this is more for me like, okay, do I have good body weight control? There's so many people out there going through the same routine, but they're not mixing up the planes of motion. They're basically struggling when it comes to body weight control. And honestly, that's 99% of the low back patients that have coming into the clinic is they have poor lower extremity strength, so they can't support their own body weight, and then the forces throughout the body get distributed unevenly. So balancing out the body, something it may look like on the performance side could be, again, some kind of yoga routine. Some of these may cross over because you could have a little bit of a mixture, but Pilates, something we're doing a lot of body weight control, or just in general when you're doing a workout, I always feel like people should just be able to control their own body weight going through slow controlled motion, and then they can up the weight when they're looking at that aspect. Building the body, that's when you'd start adding either resistance bands, weights, or you can increase intensity by the speed of the motion. So again, it's kind of a tailored system where you go from a low intensity to higher intensity. As far as your rehab aspect of it, if you have a certain injury or a certain condition you're trying to fix, when you cleanse it out, you may be looking at different factors of flushing. So that could be kind of like they call the contrast. They use the hot and the cold, cleansing the body, getting the blood flow moving, opening, closing. So vasodilation, vasoconstriction of your blood vessels. When you're looking at balancing something out, kind of the same thing. Maybe someone has multiple swelling, so maybe use something like compression pumps or different modalities like taping to help support that balance where they're not getting maybe that proprioceptive feedback of the nervous system. And then building it up, that's just going through your rehab exercises, your body weight control exercises, the bands, resistance bands. Today I had a lady doing some work. We're working on lower extremity strength for her hips, for her back, and she was just so surprised at how weak her legs were doing just the band walks going side to side, and then the quads start burning just doing some body weight squats. So we're building her up in the phase of the rehab program. From your medical side, when you look at the cleanse, balance, and build philosophy, I would say really take a serious look at if you're on any kind of medications, what all you're taking. But also here's the problem: is most people they tend not to think they have a problem until they have a symptom. And so a lot of times your body's giving you short little symptoms throughout the day, and that could be small things like headaches, maybe they just low energy, fatigue really quick throughout the day to where you just can't sustain. Maybe you don't sleep as well. Your sleep pattern is off. Maybe it's not so much internally, but externally. You may have pimples, maybe acne. There's certain things on the skin as far as increased wrinkles, maybe someone has something, a deficiency in their calcium. They start noticing, or vitamin B rather, a deficiency in their nail, the structure of their nails not growing as fast, and just weak, brittle nails. You can look at just different features on the body externally, but again internally. So when we're looking at it from a medical side, what can we start, phasing out? Is your goal to get off the medication? Is your goal to live a healthier lifestyle? And are you going to be content with where you're at? So a lot of times, again, a lot of people, they don't feel like they have a problem until they feel it or they see it physically. So a lot of it is just building up inside the body. So there should be some kind of maintenance program, even if you're not having symptoms right now. But also look for those small symptoms. Again, those could be just little minor things that happen throughout the day, just that we think that's just kind of normal. That's how life should be. But a lot of times it's just our body saying, hey, this pain, it's there for a reason, or we have a certain itch, or just things that are, again, presenting, whether it doesn't always have to be internally, it can be externally, that's just adding up throughout the day. So anyways, follow a system, get your system. For me, again, just kind of looking at it from that cleanse, balance, build, being strategic throughout the day, following certain parameters of, where am I at? How can I phase it up? Or is my body telling me something? And do I need to backtrack? Do I need to go back through? And I've done this before, and I'll use a kind of a performance example. When I was doing a lot of physical work and just in general body tightness and stuff was adding up, then I was like, what? I need to step back. I'm doing too much of the build phase, or I was too much in the balance where I was just kind of doing my maintenance program. So I went back and I did, more yoga, more flexibility, kind of did more of the cleansing process of the mobility, just getting the body, because I was just, the tightness in general, had pains throughout the body. So then I went backtracked, did the mobility, so the cleanse phase, balanced out the body, did some more just body weight control exercises, and then got back into the build. So you can bounce back and forth between these different phases. Again, I just feel like it's a simple philosophy that you can apply through all 4 categories of the nutritional aspect, the performance, your recovery, and or your medical side.